Good morning and welcome. I'm going to be sharing two of the journals that I worked on this past year. I'm going to start with my chopped journal. As you can see, I removed quite a few of the pages. I used very heavy gesso through a stencil. I left the title of the magazine on the front cover, but on the back I covered up and added some collage because the back was, well, typical of the back of a magazine. And then some more of my heavy gesso through a stencil. This is a completed page in which I painted out some of the areas on the page that I either didn't want or were covered with print or they were white space. And so I reverse collaged those, and then on the second round I came back, I added some more collage on top of that, and I did some stamping. This is a hand-cut stamp that I made, and whoops, there we go. Sorry about that, sometimes life just gets in the way. And some gesso through a stencil. I could or could not do some more on this page. Here is the next spread in which you can see that the background was covered. This area shows just the slightest bit of printing through, but mostly covered. And then as a second round, I did not add any extra collaging on this reverse page, but I did put down a large stencil. This page, oh my, this was fun to do. There was really quite a lot of white space on this page, as I remember. So I painted it out using some of the primary colors that I saw here. I picked the raspberry color here and the yellow ochre, and a little bit of the mauve that I saw here, and so I painted that out, and then I had bunches of fun stenciling on top of it. In the coming year, I'm going to continue in this journal, and I'm going to come back to these and see what I can do. Challenge myself to on layer 3 and 4 and so forth to see what I can do. But these are ready and waiting for me. Here, it was a very interesting page. I used the colors that I found here. It was fun. It was easy to paint out. These colors, this aqua and this mauve, went together very nicely, and the mauve comes from this and the aqua comes from here. And then I remember deciding that this page really was, what word can I use? What art word? Oh, blah. So I stenciled on these violets, and here again, waiting for me. Some of the printing is peeking through, and that's fine. This page had some of the, I used some of the similar colors that I had used on the previous page. Doing the background, I left these focal eyes on this page and this bird, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to working on this spread primarily because of this bird. I used the two colors on his body over here. I brought out some of the colors from here. I brought it forward on these stencils, and then I used this mask, this butterfly mask, and I wanted him really to speak for itself, so I used some ultramarine blue, and not a color that I particularly like or use very often, but I have to decide to learn to live with that one. And my handy-dandy Starburst stencil that always looks better than I expect it to for some reason. So, here and here, to bring out some of the olive shades of green. So this is 2 layers, and much fun. This is a finished one. I have signed it. This was a page with a lot of black on it, so I decided to play up that black. I did not add, no, I don't feel any, no, I did not add any extra stencil after I reverse collaged, but, I'm sorry, extra collage bits, but certainly quite a few stencils, and some pen, black pen up here to play up this word silence. A great fun page, and one that I'm satisfied to say is finished. This page is a combination of colors that I don't often use, but it was fun. I painted out what was necessary. I left this image and her on this page, and I use, as you can see, my oranges, my golds, my yellow ochre, and one of my shades of brown. And this is just waiting for me to play with a pen. That gives me the idea. This bit on this page tells me that I really want to play with my brown pen when I come back to this. Here's a favorite. Oriental, I think possibly by the outfit it might be Chinese. I'm not sure, certainly. But the coloration here, the reds and the greens, and white, this was great fun doing. As you can see, I covered up quite a bit of the words on the page up here, but not all of them. And this might take a little more. I'm thinking I'm going to add some of my Joe Sonja gold to this. I think it needs a little punch of gold. Now I decided, since this was my journal, it took me quite a while to figure out that I don't have to do every single page in order. It was a life-changing decision. Here I came to one that, to be honest, it was, it kind of put me off. And I said, no, let's see what I can do with a page that I'm really not, it's not jumping out at me, that I'm not immediately involved with the subject matter. So, reverse painting all over, and then I stopped because I'm starting in my mind, now that I look at this, I'm starting to see some design work here. Oh, now, after coming back, I'm ready to take this on and have fun with it. In fact, I do believe I have some rather lovely feather stencils that might, if a dark enough brown, and I do have a very, very dark brown. In fact, here it is. This is my Americana Bittersweet Chocolate. This might be just what this calls for. And then I skipped some more pages. And then I came to this one. And here's another challenge. Reversing out the writing, leaving this as the focal, using some of the colors, and bringing in some gray. I hadn't done this before. I wanted to see what would happen, and I know that I mixed, I believe I mixed buttercream and my light gray for some of these colors. So here, another different color palette to work through, and it is also waiting to be played with. I stopped on my very favorite page, Mindy Lacefield's Little Girls. I painted out most of this and just left them here. And in my mind's eye right now, I'm seeing me doing some flower making and just adding pretties. She's holding a little flower. I'm going to play that up on these pages, and I'm going to set these two sweet little girls off a little bit. They're kind of blending in and spreading out. I want them to be more noticeable. I want to bring the eye to these girls. So let's see what else we have here. Oh, more Mindy's. Oh, Lord. And other pages with colors that will inspire me to try things or not. So this book, my chopped journal, I'm going to keep this to take into the next year with me. Here is another journal that will be traveling with me. This is my florals. For those of you who are watching this and might be interested in looking at the playlist, it's called Florals. When I went to my Needlepoint Guild meeting, the ladies were de-accessioning, we call it destashing, some of their books, and I picked this one up because of the size, because of this nice quality spiral, and then I realized that every single page in this book is beautiful, heavy weight, heavy quality, shiny paper, and I said, well, this is just calling for me to reverse collage and or paint. So this, of course, is one of my large collages from my flowers book, and my flowers book still has many in them that are like this. I had great fun, and I love, love, love this background that I got. I wish that in fact, I'm going to look up at my own video on this to see how exactly I got these to blend in so beautifully, because I love this background. And one of my very favorite stencils, which a little pen work to bring them out, but I'm going to check this out while I'm having lunch today. On the back, I did another using a stencil this time, and some acrylic, and some background colors. I can even feel that I have some pieces of collage on here. Yes, I do. Okay, there is collage right here, under this, and under here. And this was done last March, so this cover was made in March. This book has been a joy to do. I started out in the same month with these pages from my book. The only thing that I cut fussy cut for the collages was these flowers, and of course the flower was connected to these stems. However, the strappy leaves were not there, so I drew on these strappy leaves, and then I used my very favorite technique for dealing with this. I used my Inktense Derwent Inktense pencils, because those Inktense pencils are so able to permit me to get close to this stem. This is just Inktense worked with water and a little bit of watered down gesso. I also started using my outlining in my gray Inktense pencil and watering down with light gesso the shadow markings on this page. I thought I wanted to do more writing in this book, but it turned out that this was the only page that I have done, I believe, this on, and I'm quite happy with it. But then we come to this page, which is probably, in April of this year, is probably one of the highlights of my year. This, as you can tell with this stem, is the piece out of my flowers book, and she is a rather large piece of collage, not out of my flowers book, but these cherry blossoms and this picture seem to call me. And then I painted out some background. I stenciled on this gold chrysanthemum and used some of my favorite paper, some severe stenciling, which I just loved as a strong background for this very delicate and beautiful flower. This is a favorite of mine for this year. And here, the challenges started. I decided that if I could manage these, maybe I could do something else. So, a piece of my bow, I call them my long johns, stenciled background on a white background, and this is the cutout, all of this greenery, all of these leaves, and this half are the cutout from my flowers book. Then this and this is Carol trying to make this look like this. I enjoyed so much the challenge of trying to make this work. I don't know whether I'm more tickled with my result with the flower, but I think, to be honest, I think it's the leaves. This is Derwent Inktense pencils, and I don't remember, there might be a little bit of acrylic paint involved, but I have a feeling not. This was such a fun experience, and I really, truly did enjoy doing this. I always pictured myself as one of those young people paying to go into the Louvre and sit on a bench and be allowed to copy pictures. I find copying like this a challenge to see how I can make this work. So now that I have this opportunity, I had so much fun with that. Another one of my large flower collages. This page was one of the blank ones, so I left it that way and just put my one of my favorite leaf stencils on there. But over here, I did a little sketching. I added bits here and here, here and here, oh, and here, and again, Inktense pencils and play, my black Uniball, and some of my small little bits of collage coming out of the magic folder to add to this page. It was great. It was great fun doing. and I particularly enjoy doing this one and these buds. This one, maybe not so much. I think doing this, as opposed to doing this, is according to the way you hold your mouth. I really believe that. And here is one. This, of course, is the collage. This is the carol. And this on the white page, this is the carol. And some, just using a Le Pen on this. But here again, the challenge of trying to make this look like this. And the most fun for me on this was these and this. So, here again, in July. Now, in October, I just kind of calmed down and enjoyed and relaxed and put this beautiful flower collage down, and the part that was over here, I put on the edge over here, and all of a sudden I was taken with a desire to draw lines and fill in, and I used my Target, some of my Target metallic paints, and it took a couple of coats, but worked out quite nicely, and just added some stencils, but I wanted to keep them transparent enough. I hope that you can see some of the lining through there, and just had fun doing that one, trying to keep this transparent enough to accomplish this. This was a fun page also. Let me see if there are any more. No, I don't think so. So, in October, I got to here, and there are many pages left, and my book still has, oops, look what I have ready. Look what I have ready and waiting. So, in the beginning of the year, I will be probably doing this one, and my, wouldn't this be fun to see if I could get some of that over here. We'll see. I do hope that you have enjoyed this little year's trip down memory lane. I'm going to be bringing both of these journals back periodically during the year, because my newfound love, junk journaling, is just so very much fun. But that's one part of my my love and my interest. But another part still remains this kind of reverse collage and painting, and this when Carol feels like she's the young girl in the Louvre. I certainly will go to this one, because this is this book, this journal has my heart. I do hope that you have enjoyed. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I do try to answer them, and I so appreciate all of my subscribers taking the time to comment, and I'm also very proud that this week I got to 2,000 subscribers. I'm just enjoying sharing my my journey with you, and I certainly would appreciate you subscribing to my channel. I will be back with another page turn on some more things that I've done this year, and see you then. Bye now.